All right, the Kansas City installments continue. We are back home now in the home office from our trip to Kansas City. The journey of an entrepreneur. This is what I do. Many of you do the same thing. When you're an entrepreneur, you're either owning and operating something specific and working on that, or you're in between owning and operating something specific, and you're trying to get back into that ownership position, or maybe you're just doing one deal or one opportunity. Could be a one-off. In Kansas City, we're starting off slow, and we did close. All right, so that's awesome that we closed. I used the word awesome. I never used that word when I was a kid, because I grew up on the East Coast. We didn't have that in our vernacular. But I've adopted it, being in California for so long. But not a huge fan of that word, even though I use it a lot. But the trip was a success. You always want to close. There's about 3 major stages, right, to any deal or opportunity or business that you're building. And the first is envisioning, conceptualizing, casting vision, persuading, and then agreeing to move forward together. And that's usually done in a non-binding way. It's not a legally, the deal we closed in Kansas City is non-binding. It's not legally binding, which means it doesn't, it can still, the chances of this not happening are still probably greater than 50%. I love the people and really enjoyed our time and can see a great vision for this. And I'm looking forward to announcing a vision that we're going to do in Kansas City with our partner there. But it's early, right? It's early. So we're in this, we closed this first act of a deal, or the first act of building a joint venture in this case, right? The second act is, can we make the vision work? Is it going to actually work? And that means creating legally binding agreements. That can take months right there. Or it can be really quick. It just depends on the people involved and what their code of ethics is. And what they've learned in life, and how badly they've been ripped off and burned usually influences how lawyered up something gets, right? And then once all that's done, you have to have the funding, and sometimes you have to go get it together. Sometimes it's already there together in one way or the other. So it just depends, right? And then you have to execute. So that's sort of act 2 of any joint venture, any business, is testing it out. Will it work? Okay, and you don't know until you turn the lights on, cut the ribbon, put the product on the shelf, book the gig, do the show, see how the audience reacts, whatever it may be. Got to put yourself out there. That's the putting yourself out there part, act 2. And that's a part that people can get stuck at, because we have fear. We're worried about being judged, or maybe the thing's not right, or is it going to be good enough, or are we worthy of success? Are we imposters, or are we real? All these different psychological states plague the entrepreneur, and you have to have all this confidence, because you have to put yourself out there, right? You can't do that without some confidence, some balls. Gotta have some balls. And then you also have to have some competencies, or you'll find yourself in a ditch real quick. So Act 2 is all about that in this journey. So we're entering Act 2 right now, with this opportunity in Kansas City. Usually after all the legal work gets done and the idea gets really gelled and maybe we've tested things a little bit, we're ready to like plan a launch. And then I can tell all of you what this is. I'm really looking forward to that because that's the glamorous part of being an entrepreneur. This is the grind that we're in now. Because again, like I said in the beginning, we've got a non-binding agreement. We closed that, but it's non-binding. And, you know, 80% of my experience, about 80% of the time, non-binding never binds. Remember, Big Brother is always watching. Right here, only here can you get this kind of information, really key information. So that's our journey right now with this particular business development project that I'm working on. You always have more than one. You don't have, as an entrepreneur, when you're in between things or you're doing a life transition, or which is where I'm at right now, you know, you got to have more than one thing going on because you never know what's going to hit. So this is one thing, and we will keep you posted on what happens with this one thing. Good, bad, or ugly.
You are not alone. I'm gonna meet you at the sun.